back again with another review, and this is for Wild Man Beyond. He actually wanted me to review a couple of Charles Bronson films, and Wild Man Beyond's a great guy up here. But for this, I'll be talking about and reviewing 10 to Midnight, which I enjoyed. And the plot here, you have Charles Bronson. He's a detective, and him and his rookie partner, they're trying to track down this psychopathic killer who's going around and killing these women one by one. But there's some parts in the film where the killer's naked, so you got this naked killer, going around and killing these women, and it's up to Charles Bronson and his partner to stop him. And that's the plot here. Now, before I get into the film, Bronson is one of those guys that I've only seen a couple of his films. I do have Once Upon a Time in the West, which is good. I also have the original Death Wish, which I'll be talking about and reviewing next. But I haven't seen any of the Death Wish sequels, believe it or not. Maybe part of me was hoping that I could find them around here, but the only one that I've seen around here is Death Wish 4 on Blu-ray. But I may have to pick up that triple pack, which has Death Wish 2 through 4. And I know there's a fifth one. And then you have the reboot, which I do have. And there's some other ones, like some other Bronson films, which I've heard about but haven't seen, like Murphy's Law and Messenger of Death. But, getting back to this film, like I said, I did enjoy. And I know with this director, him and Charles Bronson, they've collaborated quite a few times. And this is actually the same director that directed Firewalker with Chuck Norris, which I enjoy. That's a fun little movie. And at this point, this was like the fourth collaboration between Bronson and this director, J. Lee Thompson. Now, prior to this, they worked on, and I wrote it down right here, The White Buffalo, St. Ives, Cabo Blanco. And then after this, they would do The Evil That Men Do, Murphy's Law, Death Wish 4, The Crackdown, Messenger of Death. So they did like 6 or 7 films. But yeah, like I said, 10 to Midnight, it's a really good, crime, mystery flick. Some bits of action, but it's mostly Charles Bronson and his partner. They're trying to track down this killer. And, get into the cast real quick. Pulling up the cast. You have Charles Bronson, who is great in this movie as this detective, Leo Kessler. You have Lisa Elbacher, who was in Leviathan. I remember her. She was in that. She's the daughter of Charles Bronson's character in here. You have his partner, this character, McCain, who was played by Andrew Stevens. You have the killer himself, who is this character, Warren Stacy. Now, if I understand, too, Alec Baldwin auditioned for this part. Which, imagine that. Would have been crazy. Would have been interesting. That would have been real early Alec Baldwin. But, in this film, the killer is played by Gene Davis. And I thought he was good. Definitely, you can definitely tell with this character there's some psychological problems. And from what I understand, too, there was more to the character that they cut out of the film. I was reading it somewhere in the trivia here. I don't know if I could find it. But I was reading a little bit about the character, that there was more to the character that they cut out of the film. But yeah, like I said, you can definitely tell with this character there's some psychological, problems there, mentally. And like I said, with Alec Baldwin, I wonder what he would have done with this role. But Gene Davis, I thought he did a good job here. And he was cold-blooded, and I don't know, just the way he played the character, I thought he did a good job. And you have a couple of other actors in here that you recognize, like Jeffrey Lewis. Yeah, Jeffrey Lewis is in here from Double Impact. Wilford Brimley from, The Thing and Hard Target. he appears in the film as the captain. So, yeah, you have a really good cast here. And you also have Kelly Preston. Apparently she's in the cast. I'm looking at it right here, which I forgot. I may have missed it. But, yeah, Kelly Preston's in the cast. But, I mean, really good cast here. I mean, Charles Bronson, Lisa Elbacher, Andrew Stevens. He does a good job as the partner. Gene Davis was good as the killer. And like I said, he definitely played that part well. And it was nice to see some supporting actors like, Jeffrey Lewis and Wilford Brimley. And I thought this film definitely had a dark atmosphere to it. It seems like there's a lot of shots that take place at night where you have scenes where the killer is at this park where these two, this couple, they're making love in their van, and the killer opens the back door, kills the boyfriend, and the woman gets away, and the killer is chasing her butt-ass naked through the park and kills her. And then by the end of the film, because there's some scenes where he would try to call Charles Bronson's daughter, and then you have the final act where he's able to track her down and he shows up naked and he kills a couple of girls. But so yeah, I mean, this killer in some parts of the film is naked and he's going around killing women. And like I said, you could definitely tell with this character something, psychologically is wrong with this character. And I wonder what that stuff was that they cut out of the film that they didn't put into the film. And yeah, I mean, as far as some other information, okay, it says right here, the script for this film called for the character, the killer, to appear nude in many more scenes. Gene Davis, who portrayed the killer, wanted to break the ice with his co-stars and get the awkwardness out of the way before they began shooting by walking around the set naked. Lisa Elbacher, who portrays the daughter of Charles Bronson, was the one that holed out. She refused to look at his penis, so Davis went ahead and tied a red bow around to it to draw Elbacher's attention. And so that's funny. But yeah, I mean, it says right here too that this is one of the two Charles Bronson films that Roger Ebert gave a 0 stars rating, and the other one was Death Wish 2. For this one, Roger Ebert called the film a scummy little sewer of a movie. Really? I mean, come on, Roger Ebert. Didn't you give thumbs up to Speed 2 and shit like that? Home Alone 3. And I disagree with Ebert here. I enjoyed this film. To me, I liked Charles Bronson in the film. I liked his partner. I liked the dark atmosphere, of them trying to chase this killer. And, he's going after these women. There's this one scene where I almost forgot about, where he's talking to this one girl and he's trying to disguise his voice. And I thought that was a good scene and a good sort of performance there. And I don't get that. I mean, a scummy little sewer of a film. Come on, Roger Ebert. But yeah, I mean, and this was all before, it says right here, the film was made in 1982. This is 2 years before DNA was started to be used in criminal investigations, because you have this thing in the film where if Charles Bronson's character planted the evidence on this killer to sort of get him in prison, but of course you would think that people would check that blood, but again, this is all before DNA and whatnot. But even with that said, at the end of the day, 10 to midnight, this is a film that I definitely want to pick up and add to my collection. And, it makes me want to check out more Charles Bronson films. So, yeah, I quite enjoyed this film. It's a great, psychological, crime flick. As far as like action, you're not going to get a whole lot of action, but I thought there was some good suspense there, some good edge of your seat moments where, they're trying to find this killer, and the killer, it's a dark movie. It's, again, the killer is going around naked killing women, and there's some sexual violence there. But, like I said, I still enjoyed the film, and definitely one that I recommend. So, yeah, thank you for watching, and stay tuned for my next review. I'll be talking about and reviewing Death Wish. So, thank you for watching, and have a good day.